The Duke of Montecito isn't taking no for an answer. He'll appeal, apparently, against a High Court ruling yesterday on the level of security he expects to get when he visits the UK.
Let's get some of the detail. Joining us now is the host of the To Die For daily podcast, Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, very good morning. So tell us what happened. Harry lost his case yesterday. Apparently that's a £1 million legal bill, but he says we go again.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And we also got some interesting new details through some of the paperwork that was submitted. For instance, the NYPD saying that the paparazzi chase, they did feel like there were some photographers that were too aggressive and they were considering pressing charges. So a couple of new details coming out through some of this information. The Duke has said he's going to appeal this case and I don't, a lot of people are celebrating this as endgame. I really don't think this is game over. Harry is obviously going to be disappointed by yesterday's events, but I think in some cases it fuels him even more.
What is, for once, let's do it differently. What is his end game? You know, we go through this plethora of complaints, then we see him come over when his dad's ill and being given short shrift, and people go, oh, he's tried, and we sit here and explain that, I think the firm probably, after anything they say and talk about, seems to end up somewhere, don't trust the Sussexes. He seems to have this one man or couple's vendetta against almost everybody, the press, the security services, the police forces. The fact of the matter is surely this. Yes, he is the king's son, but if he's not a working royal, why should the British taxpayer pay for him to be defended or secure? And he has allegedly said that he'll pay for it himself, but it's the type of security, right? Because if you give him, if I'm right, police-related security with their secrets and their weapons, then every other high-profile celebrity from America who comes across with, with their entourage could ask for the same. My argument to be would be, Kins, that he surely is that now, isn't he, a celebrity? Because that's the lifestyle he chose.
Well, a couple of things. I think his end game is to be treated, what he would say, fairly. I mean, just look at the book title, Spare. I think he wants the same treatment that other members of his family receive. And that's what I think he's fighting for.
Everything it stands for, then.
I know. He said it, in this, we've learned throughout this battle that he also believes he's in more jeopardy than his mother was. So I do think that he is legitimately fearful. I think he's legitimately fearful for his family. And we saw a little bit of him last night via video link. We've seen Meghan Markle over the last 2 weeks via video link in London. Obviously, that is a place where they'd like to spend some more time. And maybe he doesn't feel comfortable bringing his family there without, in his case, what he considers proper security. However, I would say that it's a case-by-case basis, and the likelihood of them getting approved for this high-profile security, it's very high that they would be approved.
I think also, Jeremy, what we have to, this may be the lifestyle that he's chosen now, but he didn't choose the family that he was born.
I completely disagree with you.
I don't agree. He didn't choose the family that he was born into.
No, I'm not saying that. I know he's the king's son, but surely the argument, a very rational way, is this, OK? And we weren't working together at the time, but Kinsey will back me up. I was incredibly supportive that they wanted to walk away from this goldfish bowl. You cannot, though, Rosie, escape the fact that if your only being is to land in a foreign country and make your living over slagging the very thing that you don't want to be part of, you then cannot expect to have benefits that family have. You can't have it both ways. You're either in or you are out.
I think his argument, this is not what I say. His argument would be security isn't a benefit necessarily.
Well, pay for it then. Get private security.
I don't think there's any issue about who's going to pay for it. He's just saying he wants the expertise of the police who are there. Kinsey, I think what's interesting
though,
the result of this legal battle, what impact do you think that will have? Does it mean that Harry and Meghan and family will spend less time over here because the security kind of detail that Harry wants in place isn't going to be there?
I do think that that's true. There were rumors that Prince Harry wanted to spend the 10th anniversary of Invictus there with his entire family. We've heard that Prince Harry wants to bring the family over to spend some time with King Charles due to his cancer diagnosis. I do think he will hesitate to pursue some of these things when security isn't the exact way he wants it. However, I stress again that I think that they don't want to provide security if it's a vanity tour, if it's them showing up to collect some irrelevant award. I don't think they want to provide security for that. Or if somebody wants to come over just to Christmas shop, that's not security worthy. However, if Harry comes to visit his father, yes, you are going to have the red carpet rolled out for you security wise.
But can we talk about, listen, nobody wants anybody to be in a position where their life is threatened in the public eye. But nobody, neither of you have answered what I asked, which is, if you decry the very being, yes, you're the king's son, if you want nothing to do with it because apparently it's racist, because apparently it's antiquated, because apparently it's not fit for purpose, how can you then morally ask to be given something that is a fundamental right of those people? I don't understand that.
Well, the High Court said he can't have that.
No.
So I don't know.
And maybe that's a
who
good
you're
thing because he
angry
won't
with.
be able to come here at all.
No, he will.
I mean, I don't think Rosie and I are. I don't think Rosie and I would A, behave like Prince Harry towards our family, but B, I don't think we'd have these expectations either.
No.
It's hard to wrap our heads around
Yeah.
what Prince Harry's pursuing and what he's done in the past. But when it comes to feeling unsafe as a person or fearing your family's protection, you know, you have to sympathize with him in that scenario.
Do you think he thought of any of this before he went? Serious question.
No.
Do you?
Well, but there were rumors that they were warned that of these consequences prior to their Megxit exit. So, you know, maybe he didn't realize the severity of it all.
Interesting.
The backdrop to all of this, Kinsey, is that there may very well be a motivation from Prince Harry to spend more time here. His father, obviously, receiving treatment. We don't know about the details of the Princess of Wales, but she'll be sort of out of public serving duties until after Easter. You know, at these moments, we'd expect a family would, despite whatever's happened, pull closer together. And that might be reason for Harry and for Meghan to spend more time here in the UK.
You're a much nicer person than me. His sister-in-law wants nothing to do with him ever again.
I asked Kinsey what she thought.
I have some shocking news, too. There was a poll recently in the United States, and over 50% of Americans feel like Prince Harry should be welcome to come back in some sort of part-time capacity to support the royal family. It gives you an idea of how Americans still so desperately want to align him with the royal family despite everything that's happened. So obviously, I was not one of the 1,500 people contacted for this survey, but 50% of those Americans surveyed said that they did think Prince Harry should jump back in and help the royal family while they're dealing with these health crises.
I've heard the problem is I don't think, from probably what the water that's gone under the bridge, doesn't seem they're very keen for them to jump back in on their terms when it suits them, and that's sort of understandable.